anybody's got a question, just jump right in. Also, if you would, and I think everybody is, but if you would just keep your devices on mute unless you're speaking, and that way we don't get a lot of feedback. We'll have a good connection. We are going to record this because obviously with 1,800 teammates, everybody can't get on, especially 3 shifts a day. Everybody can't get on a call, and so this will be available after today. I just said a while ago, we recorded the first one, and we'll record this one, and the one that's least worst, and that's about me, not about you. Least worst, we'll put that one out there for other people to share. It's not the I'm not the singer and the dancer, but it's important information. So I do hope that you'll share it with your teammates because it is important that we get this information out to everybody. And why don't we start? We always try to start with a word of prayer. I won't put anybody on the spot today, but I'll start us with a quick prayer, and then we'll get right into the program. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together today. 47 different connections with lots more people than that. We thank you for the opportunity to serve through Lutheran Services Carolinas all over North and South Carolina in so many different ways. Be with each resident and client and family that we serve. Be with each of us and our families, and to you be the glory. Help us to keep you in the forefront of everything and everything that we say and do. We ask in his name, amen. All right, and I am going to share my screen. Heaven help me. Can everybody see the Tour de LSC 2021 on the screen? Very good. And I got to tell you, this is freaking me out because I've got three screens now in front of me, my 2 and a laptop, and each one of them has a different picture on it. So if I get a little confused, just bear with me and we'll work through this. You know, we've been doing this, I don't know, 6 or 7 years that we've been doing the Tour de LSC. It would have to be, I would think, but I can't keep up. Time flies when we're having fun. And one of the reasons that we did this is just for an opportunity for me to get in every office or most every office and all of our senior services communities at least once a year. And of course, COVID has messed that up like it's messed up everything else in our lives. And so this year we just had to stay virtual with our tour. But there are a couple of reasons to do this. One is just so I can share with you a little state of the union about Lutheran Services Carolinas, and also share some financial information. And I'll get to that here shortly. So with that little introduction, I'm just going to jump right in. I always like to start with our mission and our vision, and you'll hear me say that about 10 times before we get off the phone here, that, you know, I really do think this is the secret to our success, is the fact that we're all focused not on a person or on ourselves, but we're focused on a vision and a mission and values that we can all get behind. So again, I won't belabor the point with you, but certainly our mission, and we put this together. Well, I'll start with our vision, because that's been our vision, I think, for about 60 years. And that's biblical, because we are a Christian organization. You know, you don't have to be Christian to be served by Lutheran Services or to work here. And you certainly don't have to be Lutheran to be served or work here. But we are a Christian organization, and we're unapologetic about that. It's who we've all chosen to work for and through. And that vision, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly, from John 10:10, has held us in good stead all these years, because we really want better for everybody. And that includes all of us. We want an abundant life for everybody. Our mission statement changed a little bit when we did the affiliation between Child and Family Services and Senior Services, because all of a sudden we had to have a mission statement that covered everything that we do, from adoptions and foster care to nursing homes. And we wanted something that would cover everybody. And we also wanted to, again, to pay respects to who brought us to the dance. And that's our mission statement, empowered by Christ. We walk together with all we serve. You know, you can walk with people in lots of different ways. And we walk with people, whether we're carrying a baby or whether we're walking with a nursing home resident or a foster child. And in some cases, they're walking us. And so it works both ways. But that mission and vision have held us in good stead for many years, and I hope for many years to come. And then certainly our values. You know, our values of, and I hope you know these or can remember that. You know, I use the acronym FIRE CC or C FIRE C, however you want to remember it. Faith, integrity, respect, excellence, compassion, and collaboration. And just look at those for a minute. If we stay focused on those things, if that's our goal every day, is to live those values, it's kind of hard to see where we would go wrong. And again, that's why I think this is our secret sauce, because it has really held us in good stead. We're also, I just wanted to mention that we're also have talked to all of you, and you've seen that in weekly emails and in a lot of other publications, that we're looking to add a seventh value, something around justice. You know, Lutheran Services has, we've actually done more walking the walk than talking the talk. We've kind of kept quiet about what we've done, but we've been on that path for many, many years. But it's time to take a little credit for it, and also stand up and be counted. So we've asked every 1,800 teammates to be involved in that discussion. We've involved our board in that discussion, and hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll have a draft value and value statement around justice to share and to embrace also. The you know, 2020, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this early on. You know, 2020 has been a hard year. It's been a hard year for every one of you. It's been a hard year for our residents and clients. You think what we've all lost in this time in our families. But we lost many residents. George Lester, one of our teammates, we lost to COVID-19, and a number of folks retired because of their health or the need to kind of stay away from the possibility of getting infected. We had a wonderful memorial service a couple of weeks ago, a service of remembrance to just be together. It was extremely well attended. I know some of you were on that call. It was extremely well attended, and I just appreciate our chaplains and all of you for your hard work during this last year. And again, back to that mission and vision and values. I don't think we could have. It would have been awfully hard to get through this last year without being focused on our mission, vision, and values. When you think about everything that we've dealt with in this last year. You know, even in the circumstances that we've lived in, I am amazed at each of you and how you have risen up to a whole nother level to serve all the people that we serve. I mean, it just blows my mind how we could continue to serve and make life abundant for people, even in the midst of a pandemic, even in the midst of government shutdowns and governments telling us we couldn't come in, and the way our life enrichment staff and each person, especially that deals directly with our residents and clients, has stepped up to do this. I'm going to stop my screen share for a minute, and this is where I'll probably get in trouble because now I have to figure out how to go back to it. But Katie is going to share that little TikTok video that we have just so enjoyed. So Katie, I'll leave that to
All
you.
right. Let's see here. And I want to mention that Erin Kidd is the one who made this TikTok, and she's on here this morning. So kudos to her. And I really think this was one of the very first ones she made. And I think it kind of shocked all of us that it blew up in a huge way. And she might be able to even tell you how many followers we have. Erin, are you there? Do you know how many followers?
Let me look. Wait a second. We have 21,000 followers right now. So
Wow.
Oh,
we
wow.
need to keep making TikToks if whoever's on here wants to send me videos.
That's amazing.
Who's listening?
Okay. I think somebody,
now, somebody grabbed the screen.
okay, I'm going to try to get back. Hang on.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, here we go. I think I got the box checked for the sounds. So if not, yell at me, somebody.
You've got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said.
Anyway, it's so cute. And that's from Trinity Place. Their hall hopping heroes are amazing. They do all kinds of stuff like this. This is by far not the only TikTok we have with them, but anyway, it's pretty cool. So thanks, Erin, for taking us into the TikTok world.
Yes, I must admit, I didn't even know what TikTok was. So I'm getting the education every day from everybody. But all you have to do is look at the smiles on those people's faces. And that's going on all over this organization, in our group homes and in our facilities, and on people's front doorsteps. So I just have to thank you again for everything that you've done. And I just wanted to share some other pictures of how folks have shared and had window visits even when you couldn't get inside. I told some folks earlier, I got to hug, my mother's in our Virginia Casey Center, our memory care unit. I got to hug her for the first time Sunday a week ago, and first time in over a year. And I really was worried that I might not get that opportunity again. I didn't know if she'd live long enough or if COVID would live too long to allow that to happen again. So it's just been tremendous that so many of our group home folks and our seniors are now able to have those visits again. But it's thanks to you all, and you see those smiles that really say it all about our vision, mission, and values. Again, that keeps coming up over and over again. And I also want to throw out one more pitch for it's not too late to get vaccinated. As a matter of fact, the tide has finally turned. I was really disappointed that, well, I wanted everybody to want to get vaccinated, but I understand that's just not reality. And we're now now we're climbing up into the probably 60% range or better, as now it's been around long enough that people are starting to feel comfortable with it and are starting to say, I want to get vaccinated now. And so now it's a matter of, it's kind of going the other way. It's how quickly can people get to the Walgreens or wherever to get vaccinated. And so I would just encourage you, if you haven't gotten vaccinated, or if you know somebody that's not gotten vaccinated, whether that's a coworker or a family or a friend, please encourage them to do so. The quicker we can do this, the quicker we all get back to some semblance of, whatever normal is in our world. So please do that if at all possible. One of the main reasons that I started doing this Tour de LSC is because I wanted to share our boring financial numbers with you. And I know it's not a fun topic, but it's an important topic. I think you should know who you work for as an organization, and I think you should know what the finances are. You think back to, I've talked to people, and matter of fact, one of the first tours that I did, a young man came up afterwards and said, "Thank you for sharing this information," because the company that he had worked for just closed their doors the week before and put him out of a job, and he didn't even get his last paycheck. And he thought they were perfectly fine financially, only to find out that they were running on a shoestring and were going out of business. So I think it's important that you know who you work for and that you know what our financial situation is. And I've been committed to sharing this. Some years have been better than others, but I've been willing to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I will continue to do that each year as long as I'm sitting in my chair. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to show you and one of the reasons that we do this tour this time of year is because this is right after our audit gets completed and accepted by our board, which just happened in the last couple of weeks. Actually, last week, I guess it was. So these are hot off the press numbers that have just been accepted from our outside independent auditors to our board. And I'm just going to run through real quick so you can get the big picture at any rate. On the senior services side, you'll see that our revenue was $124 million. And it's unbelievable how we've continued to grow and that we've gotten that big. And that's a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money. We turned right around in the same year and we spent $119 million. And so we actually had $5 million left over at the end of the year. Now, that's probably one of the best years we've ever had since I've been here. Usually that number is more like $1 million or $2 million at best. But there's always an asterisk, and there is on this slide. And you see that. The federal government was nice enough to give us a good bit of extra funding to help us survive COVID. Now, the problem is they gave it to us all in this last fiscal year, but we have to make it last as long as we need it. So we were able to book the revenue in 2020, but we'll incur a lot of the expense in 2021. So while that looks like a really nice number, $5 million to have left over at the end of the year, probably at least half of that money is the COVID money that we will spend in the coming year on all the things. COVID's not going away today. There's still going to be testing. There's still going to be PPE to buy. Lots of things that we will continue to have to do. So while it's a pretty good story, it's not as good as it looks, of course. And then we also get unrestricted contributions. These are contributions that we can use for anything we want to. And that ended up being almost $500,000. So we ended up the year with about $5.5 million. Again, half of that is promised to COVID work. And the other half is used, one of the other pieces of accounting is that doesn't include capital expenditures. So we have to pay our capital expenditures out of those extra funds at the end of the year. So if we wanted to renovate a building or put a new roof on a building or pave a parking lot, and in some cases, those things cost either millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even a hot water heater that might be worth $5,000 or $10,000, or a $2,000 heating and air conditioning system, or a $2 million heating and air conditioning system that we're putting in at Trinity Place right now. That's where that money comes from. So just like at home, there's not enough to go around, and just like at home, we kind of have to decide what our priorities are. At home, if your roof is leaking and you can't afford a new roof, you might have to patch it and make it last till next year. We do the same prioritization. We just have a whole lot more roof to deal with and to cover. But again, that tells you a little bit about what our year was this last year and what we do with that money during the year, and then what's left over at the end of the year that we can use for capital. The good thing is it doesn't go in anybody's pocket. You know, that's one of the good things about being a nonprofit. It goes right back into taking care of people all over the Carolinas. On the child and family side, we had a pretty good year. Again, it's a little different because the child and family side, as you all know that are on that side, it's almost all programs. There's not many buildings. It's all programs and program based, even in the buildings. So we had about $23 million in revenue, but we had almost $24 million in expense. And that left us with about a $700,000 loss for the year. Now, because of the work that we do and that it is all government funded, it'll never pay for itself. It'll always lose money. And that's why we've always felt like if we could get excuse me, enough unrestricted contributions to offset that operating loss, that we would be satisfied with that, and on the child and family side. And so, as you can see, this year we had almost $700,000 in unrestricted contributions. So we came very close to a break-even year on the child and family services side, which is a great place for us to be. And kind of right on where we had hoped to be. So not a bad picture overall. So that's kind of the financial picture of the organization. So we're in good, strong shape. You know, we've always been conservative with our money, and we've always been. It's important that we pay our bills on time, that we collect our money on time, that we pay our bills on time, and that we be a good business and a good ministry. And you can be both, and we have to be. I just wanted to hit our strategic plan. Just a few things that are going on there that I want to share with you, and we do every year. You know, the biggest project that we have on our plate right now is Trinity Landing. It's under construction right now. I hope you can look at our Facebook page. You can see that on the SharePoint site, even if you don't have Facebook, and keep up with what's going on there. But you can see that great picture, and that's the picture of Trinity Landing construction that's on the screen now, if you can see that. That is one giant building, and then probably about I don't even remember now, eight or so hybrid villa units, 3 stories tall, that kind of make their way down toward the water. And you can see way out there in the distance, that's the ocean. So we are a waterfront. Now we're on the inland waterway. So there's an inland waterway between that picture and the ocean. But this is going to be one of the most premier retirement centers on the East Coast. We already have over 75% pre-sold units, and we don't open for another year yet. This is a $100 million project. And so it is the biggest project we've ever undertaken. I do want to explain to you how important this project is to all of Lutheran Services Carolinas. And I say this every year, but it's important to say every year, and it goes back to our finances, that finance page, is most of the services that we provide are paid for by the government, because we like to serve the least of these, people that can't afford to pay and that need our help. It's our passion, and it's our ministry. Now, the problem is the government, when the government pays for things, they don't pay you enough to do the job. And that's why all of our Medicaid and state funded programs lose money. And we have to do something that makes money so that we can continue to do this good work. And one of the few things that we do that actually makes money is independent senior housing, independent living, like this Trinity Landing project. Now, we've got a couple of those, Trinity Oaks over here, just a quarter of a mile over here, Trinity View up at Asheville, and some at Clemens there in Forsyth County. But if you looked at our basket, it is mostly government and not much private. And so we need more balance in the organization so that we can continue to do this good work. So we need some non-government funded programs. And this is one area that we hope to be able to, it won't balance us up, but it does help get us back into balance somewhat. So not only is it important because we get to expand our ministry and serve more people, but it also brings financial stability to our whole organization. And that's going to be important. We've been around for 60 years. I want us to be around another 60 years, but we got to be good business people and good ministry to do that. So enough on Trinity Landing, but a beautiful place, and I hope you can keep up with its construction and feel proud for what it's doing on both sides for us, business side and ministry side. TBI services, we just opened a brand new traumatic brain injury home up in the Durham area. And we're also providing more TBI services, not just in the home setting. And so I really am proud of the growth in that program and look forward to doing more. There's such a need in our 2 states, and I look forward to continuing to see that program go. Refugee and immigration services is not a new service. And as a matter of fact, over the last couple of years, those of you that have heard our Tour de LSC before know that that program actually has not done well the last couple of years because the political winds change and the political winds became headwinds, and we really had to just keep the pilot light on, keep serving how we could, but knowing that a lot of those, especially refugee numbers, were going to go down. Well, now with the new administration and new winds blowing, we've got a wind behind us. And now, after years of kind of being on pilot light, now we're going full force. So you'll be seeing a lot more services provided and a lot more refugees coming into the Carolinas that we will be able to serve. One of the next programs that we've got on the plate, again, gets back to that independent living and to bring that more balance back to the organization, is the idea of doing more independent living apartments in the Hickory area. It won't be anything like Trinity Landing. It won't be to that level because that's just not the destination that Wilmington is. But it will still help us probably more on the scale of what we did at Clemens with the independent living apartments that are more moderately priced. And so I think you'll see that coming very soon too. That's the next project that we're working on. And then lastly, everything is not about building and programs. Sometimes we have to take care of ourselves. And we're doing that through a number of ways. As a matter of fact, you'll remember we kicked off the LSC Way not long before COVID hit. And again, I think that has held us in really good stead to teach each of us how to do it the way our best employees do the job. And so I have heard from all over the organization discussion of the LSC Way, and that's the LSC Way. And I just love that I'm hearing that. We've also added a new module to that called Extreme Leadership. And that's just kind of the supervisory module to go with the LSC Way. One of the main reasons that people leave their jobs is because of their supervisors, not because of money or benefits, but because they're treated poorly. And we all need to become better supervisors. And that Extreme Leadership program hopefully will show us how to do that. And then lastly, and I love the shirt for this year, Forward Together, and it does show a little bit of everything that we do. I see a couple of the shirts on the call today, and I've seen a couple in the office this morning. I always love to see those. And we have gotten through this pandemic together. And I think we will continue to find ways in the future to move forward together and to continue to be successful. It's amazing that we've been so successful over the last year when you consider what we faced. is pretty amazing that we've been able to continue to make progress and not just keep taking care of all the people that you take care of all over this organization, but we've continued to grow. We've been able to start Trinity Landing and a new TBI home, all those other things. But most important, to first take care of the ones that are already in our care. We can't grow unless we're already taking care of the folks in our communities. So with that little bit, I'm going to stop at 31 minutes. That's amazing for me. And I'm just going to stop and see if anybody has any questions about the financial numbers or about the strategic plans that we've shared, or anything else that you want to talk about while we're together. We don't get this opportunity often, so I'm happy to share. And somebody, John Fry, thank you, Mr. Fry. That's 9 villa units. I was leaving one off. So I appreciate you letting me know that that's 9 villa units, and they kind of step down the hill toward the water. And I think the first floor, John, remind me, the first floor is parking and maybe a little storage, and then it's 2 stories of three apartments on each floor.
That's correct, Ted.
Very good. And those, I haven't, well, I don't even know if there's stairs in yet, but some of those villas are under construction. And I know the 3rd floor should, John, correct me again, have a view right over the top of the trees, right out to the water. Is that right?
That's correct. You can see the waterway through the trees from the villas.
Very good. Very good. So again, that's why that's one of the reasons that's going to be so successful. Number one, it's got our name on it and we've got a good reputation, but also just, it's all about real estate's location, location, location. And Trinity Landing certainly is the right location. Questions or comments for me? I'm starting to see, I see the folks at Village and at Trinity Oaks and Trinity View, where we can get a few people together. More at Trinity Oaks. Looks like Trinity Oaks has got a couple of venues set up so people could sit and listen. I saw Trinity Place on here from Albemarle. So again, I appreciate y'all being willing to pull together and do this. Trinity at Home is here. They don't want to get left out. Hey, folks, they're right on the other side of the wall over here. I could go over and say hey to them. But thank y'all for joining, all of you. And we will make this available for anybody that was not able to come and see this. And I just want to end with Trinity Glenn is present. Thank you very much. I just want to say again, thank you. We started with a prayer for each of you as we started this presentation, and just what you do for the people in North and South Carolina that need it most. God bless you for all your good hard work, and I look forward to a better year with a little less COVID and a little more opportunity to serve without the added stress. Anything else? Trinity Ridge is present too. Good to see you folks. I think that's about it between the 2 presentations, or actually 3 presentations. I think we've gotten all of our big facilities. Yep, Trinity View is there. Anyway, with that, unless I'll give you one more chance to ask a question. I don't want to cut anybody off. Going once, twice. Y'all have a good weekend, and thanks for being with me today. See you soon in person. Bye-bye.